I can cut or auto.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, technically, they should be able to hear both of us now, is the idea. Which means I should probably go and check the chat. This is, look, this is great. I mean, like, we have these great chats, and
Yeah.
I'm always like rushing off for one thing or the other. And I feel like I've been pretty good about doing YouTube stuff recently with the Burn and Learns, which have just become much longer than I expected. And I feel like I've been letting the Twitch side down. So this is thank you for letting me do this, because it's sort of, to me, it kind of it allows me to sort of like do two communication systems at the same time. Plus, I think the things that we're talking about, like the assistive tech stuff, I think could be helped out by people on the stream. There's going to be people who know way more than I do about this stuff, and the stream is often very good at sort of coming up with ideas and contacts and stuff. So it might be. I'm hoping this will help us out a bit as well as just put you on the spot.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. All right. Am I going to get anything out of this? Is the Mac going to behave so I can see? I just want, on the Mac, I want to be able to see. So what I'm doing is, so you're asking about the monitor setup. I've got the Mac on one monitor. Boo. I've got the old laptop, which is a kind of a workhorse, except that its keyboard died, so it has to have an external keyboard on it. Yeah, it's like, how do you make a laptop keyboard that dies within a year?
And the laptop, the keyboard really seems integral. It's
The
not
keyboard, yeah, it seems like something it's hard to get away without using, unless you're you, maybe. And but it's got nice light on it. The light still works. The LEDs still work.
I see 2 rings in your glasses. I don't know if that means there's...
Yes, that's because this camera has... What do you think? Is that better?
Oh, it doesn't bother me at all either way. I was just wondering.
Do you mean the sexy rings of YouTube-ness?
Yes.
This instant credibility, or just instant influencer?
I don't know, something like that, where it feels like you know what you're doing.
Does it? Oh, then I'll put it back on again. It's the. Did you get the Razer, the Keo?
I did, the Razer Keo Pro. It does not have a ring on it.
What? What did you buy? What have you bought?
It is the brand newest, greatest thing since sliced bread.
Do you love it?
It has such sensitive circuitry in it. It does no longer need the lighting, and you can actually use just the light from your monitor to light.
Which is what I'm doing right now, and you're right. I look amazing.
You do. I like how it gives you greens and grays, and both of those pop.
It's that every wrinkle. You see every wrinkle. All right, let's get us on the chat here so I can see what's going on. Everyone's gonna be like, what happened? Why are you streaming now? You're not supposed to be streaming now.
Ooh, I saw a really cool science video on why that black or blue and yellow dress works.
Oh, that one where everyone thinks it's yellow except the people who think it's blue?
Yeah.
What was it? What was the deal?
Your eye, okay, you go beyond the rods and cones, and then you start getting into where your brain is processing color. And it really can't you either have yellow or blue. Now, I know what you're saying. Green is both those, but green's on a different cell altogether. There's a green cell and a blue cell. Right. So the blue cell can either do yellow or blue. And as you move to the center, it turns into white light, or it starts to pop intermittently back and forth, your perception of it. And so, depending on what angle you're looking at it, depending on what's happening in your little brain at the time, it will literally pop between blue and yellow. It's so neat.
It's funny because I'm reading about the brain stuff now. Well, reading. I never read. I keep saying reading like I actually do it. I don't actually read. I just it's audiobooks. Always audiobooks. I figure it's still fairly legit. Why can't I not see the chat? Damn it. I don't know if you noticed this or not, GimpyGod, but this world of technology works a lot better on Stargate for me.
It's so nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I never quite get this right. There's something I do. Is that it? No, theater mode's not what I want. What is it? What do I do? What am I doing wrong here? Besides everything. I got full screen. That's nice. But where's the little chitty chat?
Now, is this the back end of like Twitch?
Oh,
or?
am I in the right thing? Hang on. You've got Discord running on that. I get so confused. But the audio's good, huh?
It's fantastic.
Isn't it? There you go. At least I've solved one problem. The rest of it's coming. I cannot see the chat, and I cannot figure out why that is. And I do this all the time. Somebody explain the chat thing to me. When you're on Twitch, why do you sometimes see the chat and sometimes not see the chat? No one can explain it to me because I can't see the chat. What am I saying? All right, let me try this again. I'm going to just try reloading the page and see if it helps me out somehow. I just want to see what people are saying. I feel so left out. How goes the renovations, by the way?
We have a 2-foot blizzard hitting in approximately 1 day.
Oh,
there's actually a cow alert. Can you have a cow alert? Yes, you can.
A cow alert?
Yeah, it's like keep all your cows indoors or something. I don't know how.
Seriously?
Well, no, I don't know what they wanted to do with them, but it's going to be called the cow apocalypse.
Really? So move all of your cows inside.
Move all your cows somewhere because it's going to be 2 feet of very heavy snow, very cold. No climate change happening here.
No, of course not.
See here.
Did you look at that article, that New York Times article?
You know what? I haven't. Did you?
Sorry, that wasn't like a homework question, just so you know.
No. I was very interested at the time because I have so many family members that I have to talk to on I don't have to. In fact, I don't. But on Facebook, and it's constantly, they'll put up a picture of a volcano. But that's more CO2 than we put out in 100 years. And then you go through and you show them, no, it's about 1/6 of 1 day of what cars do. And
yeah, I find it very hard to keep track of it. I am so lost. I cannot figure out why I can't see the chat. Cannot figure it out. What am I missing? Am I not logged in or something? No, I'm online, sharing my activity. Channel. Yeah. In my channel. I cannot see the chat. It's the weirdest thing. Oh, I'm on the Mac.
Is that really? That's all we need to explain? It's the Mac.
Well, it's getting to the point for me that's where I'm basically getting. Creator dashboard, is that better? No. That's not going to help.
Oh, that felt so right, though.
Didn't it? It sounded like it's so. Oh, there goes my chat right there. Look at that. Oh, Barnacles is live?
I just saw that. Hey,
you should be talking to Barnacles, not me. Why?
He's got a lot of
VTubers, royal family, net neutrality coming back. I heard that net neutrality is coming back. Is he only just on now?
Can I think when he usually comes on?
We should go and talk to him. I'm starting to think this Dr. McKay was just a character. Oh yeah, when it comes to working with streaming, I absolutely suck at it. I'm used to someone else setting up the camera, and then I do all of the acting stuff, and someone else gets to play with all the fun stuff, all the technology stuff. And I thought, oh, it'll be so great. I get to play with all the tech this way. The reality is, it's I'm either entertaining or I'm technology based, one of the two. So I'm going with entertaining. Yeah, I'm not actually doing banditry today, so this is kind of open to people. So don't feel like you have to. You don't have to maintain just tech banditry stuff today. I think. I mean, I'm happy to talk to the tech bandits today, but this is actually just GimpyGod and I have we chat every so often. Last couple of weeks, and I just thought that given that we're talking about some assistive stuff, it might be kind of fun to open it up to the chat because there may be some people with some ideas and thoughts on the subject that could sort of help out.
Or if they had questions that maybe they felt were too sensitive for broadcast or whatever, I do not mind asking.
Interesting. Very good. Okay, so there you go. So GimpyGod is also open for Q&A. That's where he's putting himself on the stand here for this stuff. So a couple of things. I looked into a thing called I can't remember. But it's infrared eye tracking. So, and the idea is you would place the way that they're using it in gaming right now is they have a tracker that sits on the side of the headphones and tracks your head with they use 3 LEDs, 3 infrared LEDs. And it triangulates the position of your head based on those 3 LEDs. That's not going to help you, though, is it?
Well, I don't know. That's interesting. I mean, it's almost the reverse of what I'm using, or what I will be using when I'm all back up, because it's just using 10 and then using its position above the monitor. So it knows where it's at. It even limits itself. It says 27-inch monitor, not curved, which I found was interesting.
Right. So because it wouldn't know how to track it along that curved space as opposed to a flat one. That's interesting. But it's tracking one dot on your glasses, right?
Correct. So what's this thing doing?
So this is actually 3 dimensions. So you're getting, which actually may not be good for you.
Could not.
Because you kind of want to treat it as a flat surface, right?
What is it using as a reference, do you know, on the other end?
On the other end, it's using a PlayStation camera.
Okay, an iToy. Fantastic.
But that has had the infrared filter literally burned out of it.
How interesting.
Like you heat up a piece of plastic, you heat up a piece of metal and you stick it into the plastic thing and you basically like melt out this infrared. I'm sure there's classier versions of this.
Yeah.
Tracker IR, is that it? Tracker IR, is that the term for it? I'm having a look here and seeing what people are saying. Paperclips feels old. Yeah, well, join the family. Lexi K, thank you very much. Sorry, I'm gonna do you mind if I do my crazy thank yous? I feel like I should say thank you to people if they subscribe.
I feel like we didn't do so properly last time.
We suck at that. Well, during Tech Bandits, I suck at it. And I tell everyone that, including Cal. Cal usually comes down like the hammer on people because she's like, look, he's doing Tech Bandits. He's not here to do all of his social media-ing. Oh, my God, social media. I had fun on that this morning. Did you try?
Oh, I am curious about that. But go ahead.
It was nothing crazy. It was nothing crazy. It was just someone who was undermining my request that people wear masks and look after themselves and just stick to the COVID protocols before we get vaccinations, basically.
Right.
And it just felt like, I was like, really, have we got to this point where there's people still doing that? Like, you know, let me look up this thing, Tracker IR. Anyways, so someone very kindly recommended a group called the Center to Counter Hate or something like that.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah, it seemed like a good idea. Well, what they're doing is they're talking about like how Instagram's algorithm is it's basically a hate algorithm. The idea is that it wants people to argue because that's how you keep people online, and so it's basically a hate machine. And just how one should respond to this stuff. And of course, looking at this list of things that they suggest you do if you find yourself in this situation, I'd done everything wrong. I had retweeted, I had engaged, yeah. And I realized in thinking about it, the reason why I'd done that is because I wanted to feel like a freaking superhero, right? I mean, you're on Twitter and you want to be like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to show you, mister, how wrong you are and how right I am. And this is what the whole social media thing feeds, right? It's like an ego and a sort of a self-aggrandization type thing that you can get caught up in, right?
Yeah, I get caught up in a thing where I'm thinking, why are we allowing these people to drive cars?
There's that. Well,
themselves and have sharp things.
Yes, right. I mean, but the funny thing is that they're not sort of, there's that stereotype of the idiots. And the problem is that a lot of these people aren't idiots. They're much more dangerous than that.
Right.
And I think it's very easy to underestimate. And what I like about this center for I've forgotten that. I got to get the name right. But basically what they're doing is they're educating people about what's happening and things to look out for. They're even showing examples like, look at this post. Here's the issues with this post. They have a whole thing on how the anti-vaxxers are approaching their social media campaigns. What are the points that they're hitting? What are they trying to undermine in that process? So I have a feeling that because of this, there's probably a lot of people who are trolling or trying to take down this company online, or this organization online. So by my interacting with them, I have now basically had some of their fun, not so enthusiasts join my my stream with their own little diatribes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it was
Who
called.
are we thinking thus far?
What was that?
Who are we going to thank first today for being so awesome and helping with the stream?
Exactly. Mods. I'm terrible about. Okay, so there's one called this Tracker IR. I've heard good things about Tracker IR. So let me see. There's an in-depth thing. So this is basically the same thing that I was talking about, but it's being sort of professionalized, if that makes sense. Let me drag it in here, and so you can see it as well. Have you got the stream up there as well?
I do not. I'm just on.
Oh, right. So can I share that in another? How do I do that? Can I share my screen with you? Would that work?
If I get a list, I can catch up. Okay, here's things that I saw since you and I last hit together as well. There's a Tracker Nano that comes out of Australia.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna look as you do this. I'm gonna type them in so I can look at them. Okay.
Okay.
Tracker Nano, got it.
And I actually have one of those here at home right now.
Ooh, did you buy one?
Yeah.
Tracker Nano. What do you think of it?
It's exactly what we were discussing before. Was if I could get it to disengage for a moment, so I could recenter and then pull to the edge and get around more easily that way. Right now, it's either too precise. You can actually, there's a toggle switch on it that allows you to make it massively sensitive. However, then I'm holding my breath and it's still shaking as it's moving. So I don't know. I've tried to think of, like, could there be a software solution where it actually has a different acceleration the farther away from the center of the screen you get? If you get what I mean, like at the center of the screen, it's a 1-for-1, and then as you move away, maybe it's 2-for-1, then 3-for-1. When you get to the very edge, maybe 4 or 5-to-1.
I think the Tracker software can do that because there's an open source one, and again, I always get drawn to the open source stuff because it's free, but at the same time, it can also be more complicated to set up. It'd be nice if there was just a solution you could just buy and it worked.
That would be crazy.
Is this the head mouse Nano?
Yes.
Okay, great. Boy, it's a clunky looking thing.
It's really just a little clunky looking little thing.
But it's tracking. Sorry, is it tracking your? It's tracking your head. Okay.
It's almost exactly the same kind of device. It's a tinfoil or some sort of reflective component on your glasses or forehead or hat, and then from there it goes.
So will it be able to track your glasses? Like, do you need to put something else on the glasses, or it
definitely needs something in addition? It seems like the glasses themselves, if there's stuff reflecting off of it, can actually adversely affect it. So that's not.
That sucks. The advantage of the IR stuff is that it could be fairly sort of independent of other light sources, right?
Right.
I mean, I haven't set it up properly, but I was playing with, I was looking for, I thought I had 2 of my Tobii 4Cs or whatever they're called. I only have 1. I realized the other one I've given to this school, this school out here. I don't think they're using it now because I don't think they're actually at school right now. But I can let you have this one, or I'm wondering if maybe we should just try to. What if we just both get one of the more updated ones and try them out or something?
I'll get one. I'll buy one.
But they're not crazy expensive. But this is going to add up, though, right?
No, it will.
What does the Nano cost?
It's like $1,000.
What?
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Wait a sec. So it was $1,000, but it's tracking. It's just tracking something reflective on your glasses.
Yeah.
Or your nose, or whatever you want to put it on.
Yeah. I don't know, buddy. It's incredible. Well, like you said, even the Tobii, the one that as soon as you move outside of the general use, it all of a sudden jumps from $250 to $1,500.
I don't understand it.
I really wish we could talk to that fella that you know up in there and say, hey, are these the same thing? Wink, wink. You can tell us.
Well, I mean, that's it. Yeah. So that's look. It's possible that it's just because of support or something like that. I mean, it's possible that they cost more because they know that the support's going to be more intense, or that they've got they can't let that one. They can't just render that obsolete, or I mean, I'm sure there were reasons behind it. It just seems a bit crazy that as soon as I don't know what the technology is going to have, obviously because it's not my area of expertise, but I don't know what the technology is going to have that the other ones wouldn't.
Well, I don't know. Like, okay, when I was looking into the joysticks I was talking about, right? Mm-hmm. They were all $3,200 and $3,250, $3,250 for a singular joystick that you can control with your lip. And I was like, why in the world is this? And I finally got a hold of some experts in the field out of Denver University. And it's strictly Medicaid. Medicaid will allow you to charge up to $3,250. So it costs $3,250 no matter which one you get where.
Because they know they can get it out of Medicaid, so they're going to charge as much as they can. Right.
Correct. So it's kind of that poison of I know that I don't know. It's weird.
That well-meaning government intervention.
Right.
I mean, what do the quad sticks cost? That's a good question.
$1,500.
They're $1,500, so they're a little bit more reasonable, but still expensive.
Pretty expensive. I can, however, borrow one for 6 weeks.
From Quad Stick?
No, from that place I was telling you about. It's DICE. It's like, oh gosh, interactive sciences and something. So they want to work on kind of what we're doing, but
I think the thing with Quad Stick is it's not mass produced. It is each one of these are hand built by him. So I think there's a certain level of craftsmanship to this stuff as well. In this specific situation, I only know that because I know the guy.
Have you gone on the website lately? Because when I went on there, I think it was a week or so ago, it is dreadfully behind.
Oh, was it?
Putting together sticks. A huge problem being getting product out of China.
Oh, I see. Yes, of course. I didn't thought of that.
Being so high. So he needs elves.
I need to get in touch with him because he's a great guy. He's absolutely wonderful. Like he's just a lovely guy who just, I mean, I think just enjoys doing this stuff. But again, things are always seem more as soon as you're not doing mass produced stuff. Like this is the problem with a lot of the assistive stuff that I see is that if there was some way of making them mainstream as well, if people without disabilities had some use for quad stick technology, quad sticks would cost a fraction of that, right?
Or if they were just a component of some other thing they could use. You know what I mean? That we could, like a Lego part of a robot or something that everybody wants. And I'm just spitballing here.
But they've got such amazing face tracking stuff. They've got my iPhone can put a freaking mask on my face that moves in time with my speaking. Is there not a way to control the computer with a different series of blinks and face movements and, without the hardware? Like, it seems like the hardware is the thing that's the most expensive, right?
It really does. To me, it feels, if they could add that to my iPad.
Oh, you locked up. You locked up for me. Gimpy God is frozen. It's a very flattering shot, though. All right, we may have lost Gimpy God.
Wait, I think I'm back.
Oh, he's back. He's back. His internet is. Do you want to do? Is audio better?
Do I need to make it better?
No, the audio is fine. We don't have video anymore.
You don't now?
We do not have video now, which is fine. We can still hear you loud and clear. It's just that we don't have, we don't have that wonderful shot, up the nose that you were so proud of. You know what I mean? Oh, there you go. He's got it. Yeah, well, this the other thing that drives me crazy is the anything iPad related is just so not designed for people with any kind of alternate way of trying to access it, right?
Right. Even if something for me, like if it's a landscape deal, if I need to go portrait, well, I'm out. So
Really?
unless they had some kind of motor on it, but and anytime you throw a motor on something, there's definitely a point of failure there.
Yeah, it's true. Although it's such a simple process, though.
It is.
I
I
mean,
went to magazine page turner. That's how old I am, because it was magazines were what you read, and I had a comic book collection. I just cried over that thing. It just tore me to shreds.
no.
Oh, it was amazing. It was like there,
And you'd be like,
but
"Ay, there goes my Superman number 4."
hey. No,
How is it? How is it working?
How was it working? It was it had a little switch that I could hit with my mouth, and it basically just had rubber rollers
Oh
that would like tap
God.
side and just keep roll until
Oh, it
yeah.
hurts. It
Oh, it
hurts.
hurt real bad.
And you're reading comic books like that and going like, "I'll save this for
Yeah.
Firestarter."
But see, that's what really gets you is okay. It was $2,500, and if it didn't work for you, it was a 25% restocking fee. So,
Wow.
and there's I don't know independently wealthy disabled people other than Christopher Reeves. He was
Mm,
doing okay, but other than that,
right. God, it's so funny. Just these things you just don't think of. So, but the assistant. So if this nano thing works for you, you're saying it's not working for you as it is right now, and the company has no solutions to that. Like
no.
it's $1,000, but you're saying it doesn't work as a head mouse.
Not for me. Well, and that's the deal. What I love about this is, let's say we get things going and we do get me up and go. Perhaps I can find a home for it, or something like that.
Mm,
We could do stuff. We can help people.
right. So these are technology things that could be actually distributed to other people if needed.
Right. If somebody can move a little better than me, it'd probably be perfect.
Really? There
I
you
think
go.
so.
Um, so all right. So God, it's like it's like, what do we do? How do we make it happen? I'm trying to figure out like even just like from a logistic standpoint. I guess once we find out what we need to try, I feel like something like this track IR, it had software involved in it. Let me find there was a video. I could just send you links, couldn't I? Or does your iPad kill the stream when you change apps?
I don't know. Want to try it?
See what happens. If you go to Chrome now, will we still hear you? Let's see what happens. I can still hear you. I can still see you. I can.
Okay, I can still hear.
Okay, but I can't see you, but I can hear you. Okay, so you can check links.
Okay, I am in Chrome, so woo.
All right, good. Okay, so that's fine. So we just don't see you when you do that, but that's fine. All right, so okay, this was the thing. This is this Track It thing. Have a look at this. But as I say, there are DIY versions of this. I would love in my own silly fantasy world, I would love the idea of having a system that anybody can afford, right?
Right.
But that that doesn't necessarily work. I know none of these work out of the box because they all have to be sort of configured specifically. Great. I've just copied the link for myself. Now, why don't I copy it for you? All right, copy. Let's put you in here. Is there a link for that somewhere in this silly thing? Oh, for God's sake. All right. This is the problem with having two computers going is you always forget which mouse you're using.
So if I had a wish list, David, my wish list would be as thus. I definitely be able to go with my head tracker as is for now until we come up with something better, and add that joystick or add eye tracking just to get that second form of movement in there.
Right.
And then from there, heck, I don't know, a girlfriend, whatever, robot.
I can only do so much. I'm married, for God's sake. I haven't had to worry about that stuff for ages.
Yeah.
But we could look into dating apps. Apparently, there's people doing like people are doing like Zoom dates and stuff.
Say what?
They're doing like Zoom dates.
Yeah.
It lacks some of the, I think, the benefits of dating, I'd have to say.
I tried to Zoom date Sarah Silverman. Haven't gotten a call back yet.
Still waiting?
Still waiting.
Of course I'll hold. All right, so Tracker IR. There was also let me see if I can find this technology that, actually what I should be doing is probably doing it on this computer because then I can actually share them. All right, let's do this. So it was Head Tracker DIY. And I'll just show you, there's a video, this guy did it. There you go. Is this the guy? $20.
$20.
Nice. But I want to know how.
Ahead we should see a little octopus.
There you go. And he's got a great accent too, because you can see a little octopus, he'll say. All right, let me see. Do this, share this, copy this, put it back in my little chatty chats. Oh, for God, is there a way to hide all of this crap? Is there not? I'd love to do that. There we go. Is your link there? Okay, so that's a little video that I watched about the DIY version of this. But again, like, you've got a head tracker. You just need to get the damn thing to stop when you want it to stop. Like
that would be an optimization. That'd be like almost like right now we've got the Ferrari, okay? And even then I could upgrade the Ferrari. But in order to get it like really just all cherried out, if we could stop and pick back up and you know what I mean, just like you do when you're using the mouse, lift your hand instead of back down. Except this way we can't really.
Do you use the software that comes with these things, or are you using the Windows assistive aspects of the actual operating system?
As far as I knew, they just tell you to plug and play. So they didn't come with any software.
Because Windows has a bunch of different, I don't know if they actually have a head tracking one, but I had I don't know about this, but how you find this, but I was using the eye tracker, the Tobii eye tracker, and I found it exhausting because I hadn't set it up properly, but even just like, futzing around with it, I was amazed at how responsive it was, even with glasses. But I found that if it wasn't quite right, how do you get your eyes to do, you know what I mean? Like, I'm focusing on the app that I want, but it's not right at the app. I have to look a little past the app to get it to look at the app. But then you can't help it. Your eyes keep going back to what you're looking at. So I found it kind of exhausting. I thought it's fantastic for passively tracking your eyes, but I found the control by eyes much more difficult.
Right. And the readjustment, how do we recalibrate is what I don't even know how. Did you ever play with the Nintendo Wii?
I did. Yeah.
So you remember if it got off, you'd set it upside down on the table. Let it go, and then it'd be recalibrated to the center, and you'd just be reset. And I'm not sure any of these devices have that. Let's go back to center.
So the way the Tobii does it is and this I was able to do with my eyes. You could bring your eyes down to the setup, and up would come like a little circling ball, and it would say focus on the ball, and you'd focus on the ball, and then it would explode, and then three more of them would appear, and you'd go to each one, and that's how it would gauge your tracking. So you would make each ball explode by looking at it, and I'm assuming that's what was then giving it its information needed for where the screen was.
Okay, that's a good idea.
So that worked really. I was very surprised at how well that worked. I wish I could remember the guy who I was talking to about this. The problem is there's just so much time happens between things, and I'm so old, as you know. It's very easy to forget. Let me see if I can find my Tobii guy.
And you're so many people is what's weird.
And what?
Like, you're so many people.
It's true. Who am I today? Am I nice? Am I horrible? Who knows?
Who knows? I'm all like you're the nice guy. Every show I watch with you in it now.
You're just going to say I'm a nice guy no matter what?
Well, like, okay, for instance, the FBI guy on Clarice. You're just trying to do right by those people, okay? And nobody's listening to you.
No one's listening to me when I tell you that the white white guys and that, like, it's just, he's such an odious man. It's so much fun to play, I've got to say. I think it was Dabney Coleman who said that the villains are all not villains, but the mean guys are always so much better written than the nice guys.
Yeah. Well, they're more interesting.
Exactly.
Got more cream.
Let me just have a look here. Oh, that's it. So it was Sir Dragon Chris, aka Commander Chris, on Discord. Okay. I used to have an IC, used the 4C and the 5 Toby with OptiKey to help me play games due to a disability. DMD? Do you know what DMD is?
Nope.
I have limited use of a mouse and a keyboard, so I use eye tracking, physical buttons, and voice recognition to access the buttons I cannot use. The eye tracking is new to me, but it's very good. It can let me use the full PC with only my eyes. So, well, I mean, maybe
that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just, look, I did not spend a lot of time setting it up, to be fair. And as you've seen from my cable management, it's possible there may have been things dangling in front of it. But if we both set up, if you get a 5C, I'll buy a 5C, and you don't have to both set them up. I can set it up. I can set up mine, and we can walk through the process and see what's needed. And then once we figured it out, we show who's good at this. Is your nephew good at helping you out on this stuff, or what?
Yeah.
He's the nerd. He likes this stuff.
Yep, he's my guy.
Oh, perfect. Well, then even if he wants to set it up as well, we could just all walk through it and see what it's like.
Right.
It'd be really fun, actually, to see for us to experiment on you. To have.
If only I were twins. God dang it.
But it would be fun to see your screen, to see how it works and what's not working, because then I can go, oh, you know what? I know that one. Or someone on screen could say, someone on chat can go, oh, you idiot, you're looking at the wrong screen, or whatever, so that we can, mock and deride during the process. DMD is a type of muscular dystrophy. Okay, thanks, James. Is there anything James doesn't know? This is getting scary.
Muscular dystrophy. Oh, that's a sad one, buddy. That's a sad one.
Is it?
Yeah, about 9 to 12, you start showing signs. So you could actually walk prior to that.
Oh.
And there would be no sign of it. And then by the time, say, 24 to 30, it's a thing.
So it's generally terminal?
Primarily, yeah.
Really? Wow. And then there's no treatment for it? There's no genetic.
As far as I know, that Spinraza is the only thing that's been somewhat effective, because they're targeting directly the diaphragm and smooth muscle.
Huh.
They
Sorry,
really
not to say, hey, you've got a disability, you must be an expert on all of them.
No, but I've gone to school, and it seems like I was always the oldest kid.
Right.
So I was always the experiment, or so I knew
first child syndrome.
Yeah, but for like a really janky public school system.
Right. Were they kitted up for this stuff? They weren't, I'm assuming.
Oh gosh, no.
Right.
No, they were terrible.
Really? Just because there wasn't funding, or there just wasn't an understanding of this stuff, or was it just assumed that you would go to some special school somewhere?
Well, we did go to one special school, and it was always like, okay, I went to Fort Collins High School. I went to school in Fort Collins, Colorado, which is a nice big town. Well, 100 and some thousand. But we were forced to go to the junior high, the high school, so you didn't follow your friends along or anything like that. You just went where the funding and equipment was.
Right. Oh, that sucks.
It really did. It did, because you never really got to know people very long.
And is it changed? Well, and you're always an outsider, and you're already an outsider, if that makes sense.
Correct. So, right.
Is it changed?
You have grown up with in grade school who knew you beyond your disability, they don't follow you through. So then, what would I do? My whole thing was I always go into a class, find the biggest kid in the room, and make fun of them. That was my thing. Like, not like, really bust their balls, but, bust their balls.
Make them laugh. Make them a friend.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the equivalent. I used to do exactly the same thing. I was like the jester. It was just like, look, I got to make an idiot of myself before they can make an idiot of me. And then everyone's like, oh, it's fine. He's just an idiot. I liken it to when the dog just comes in and rolls over. I just feel like that's like, that's kind of like what I do. Like a true hero. Cowardice.
We've got a lot in common. In really uncommon ways.
Right. People are talking French. You got to be careful. If you like, Cal will shut you down. She does not like, strangely, for someone who actually does translation, as a part-time job, full-time job. She does not like multiple languages in the stream because she thinks it's exclusive to people. It excludes people.
I think so. I can see it. And since she's the mod, then the mods are the key to power.
I'm not arguing with Cal. Cal's like, why do you bully me? I'm not bullying you. I'm just saying you rule. Look, wait a second. Let me do something for you, Cal.
He's rolled over.
I'm rolling over. It's Cal's world here. Cal, by the way, meet GimpyGod. Ruby K. But does Ruby K nail people for talking in different languages? That's your rule, Cal? I think, isn't it? Ruby K, it's okay. I'm not worth anything. Yes, Ruby K, you are worth everything. You're the sanity to Cal's hammer, right?
So here's a question: would a show like just an hour a week or something, maybe a month, highlighting mods on all these channels, like call it mod rules or something like that, and find what they're doing to keep their people in check and keep their community flowing nicely, and what guides them? And
it's interesting though. Would you say mods are? But do mods want to be like? Actually, well, let's ask a couple of mods. Ruby K, Cal. I think I know what Cal's going to say. But Ruby K and Cal, are you? I mean, is this? Do you like the idea of being on camera and doing this stuff?
Well, we wouldn't have to be on camera. We could,
or just call them out and say, hey, this is just an episode about mods?
Yeah.
That's not bad. It's my rule because Ruby K can't understand them. How could she mod? Oh, of course. It's her rule because she knows what they're saying.
Got it.
I'm just assuming, Cal, that they're saying wonderful things about me. That's my assumption, and that's worked really well for me in my life so far. I try to learn French because I made the mistake of deselecting French back then when I was at school. Yeah, I did horribly in French, but the reality is I quite like the little bit of French that I know, but I don't dare say it because Cal will shut me down. Okay. Ruby K has nothing against being on camera. There you go. But do you aspire to be on? Like, I mean, is that something like Ruby K? I've never even asked this. This is terrible. Ruby K, do you have your own channel? Like, do you do the streaming stuff? I feel horrible that I haven't asked that before.
Do you exist in corporeal form?
It's just so much fun. Always like teasing Cal, and I poor Ruby K gets like gets forgotten in my back and forth with Cal. I'd go on camera with you, but then I'll be the star power of the channel, and you'd get jealous. Good point, Cal. Good point. Clanky's got a question for Gimpy. How did you do that, Clanky? How did Clanky get all their stuff highlighted like that?
Something to do with channel points. I don't get it myself.
Oh, that's neat. Okay. So I have a question for Gimpy. When in public, would you rather people... should I read this first to make sure? No, you're fine. All right. When people in public, would people go out of their way to help you with opening doors, stepping out of the way for you to get through? Or would you rather people treat you as if you were not disabled or not a person with disabilities? I'm not trying to be rude. I legitimately am curious. Okay.
See, there's absolutely nothing rude about that. Okay, so you're talking to somebody who's gotten every form and flavor thereof. And I've gone through and looked at the world, and I've decided too much empathy is not one of our current problems. So if you asked to help in things, I think a person would be fantastically open to that, I would hope. They hadn't watched too many after-school specials and were firmly in the area of, don't help me, I'll drag myself by my lips through this doorway, or something like that. So the help is fantastic. My mom would take me shopping or something, and she'd have one foot holding the door open and hands full of groceries, and then somehow trying to get my wheelchair through, and people just watching us like a show. So I think is great, and talking and getting down on a level, and if somebody's talking to your belt buckle, might work that out a little bit, come down level. Or
Oh, interesting. So crouching down is a preference for that kind of stuff.
I would say.
I'm always concerned about that too, because I never know whether is it worse to be looking down on. I mean, it's got to be weird looking up at people all the time.
It is, and if your head can't look up.
Ah, right.
I'm just strictly. I know it looks like I'm looking at your boobs, and I'm sorry.
Right.
Maybe I am. Maybe this is my way, but
right.
I don't know.
Right.
But
who's going to call you on it?
Right. It's just, I don't know. I would say always err on being a good person. It's my thing.
So as long as the intention is.
See, that's me. I think context is hugely important. What do you think, Dave? I feel like that's right.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you've it's an interesting dilemma, because this could be a bit of a sidetrack, but I think it will lead back to where we are unless I get distracted.
Okay.
So female driver on a show, not a lot of female drivers on shows. She gets asked to pick up a truck, goes to pick up the truck. The driver guy who's there says, "I can't let you drive that truck. You're just a little girl. Like, you can't, that's a big truck for a little girl to be driving." She's like, "Look, I've got all the accreditation needed. I've got the driver's licenses necessary for this thing. Give me the freaking keys. I'll take the truck." He's like, "No, I can't ask you to do that. That's crazy." He's being gallant.
Gotcha.
He's still being sexist, right?
So, I could. So then perhaps the in between, he goes, "Okay, the chains here are like 200 pounds worth of chains. So if you got it handled, I'll just let you be. But if you'd like any help, you just go ahead and tell me if you find something that's beyond what you had expected," or something like that.
Exactly. Like, there's definitely a way of being gallant without being sexist about it.
Right.
So I guess the question that I think most people would have, or that I have in this situation a lot as well, is like, how can you be helpful without being obviously, like, without being ableist in that approach, if that makes sense? And the next question, of course, is ableist the right term? I don't even know I never get the terms right.
To me, there have been so many negative. Stop me if I tell too many stories. Okay.
No, go. You got half the screen, buddy.
I got this portion right here. Okay, like, I have literally been going down the street with my sister and brother, and people will be on their bikes and yell "cripple" and things like that, and just be awful and they didn't know my family, so they didn't know they were going to be tracked down and beaten. So that was just the whole thing. They didn't know.
This is just a random thing? Like, they're just like, these are kids? These are grown-ups? These are...
No, kids up to 13, but then adults, I've gotten that plenty.
Really?
Driving by in their car and go, "Derp," like a
right
derp noise, and I'm like, okay.
The assumption being that because you are in a wheelchair, that you are also
mentally incapacitated. But either way, it's not a good look for them. So
I would say, again, but that doesn't come out of a misjudgment of them they're just trying to be nice.
Right. They're just feeling their way through this crazy world of ours. And then probably, like, did you ever watch Dad and I on TV? Or did you watch that yet?
Dad and
myself and my dad. That Everyone Has a Hero.
Your show. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So it's
you know how old you are by the clips that they have of you, depending on the ratio, like how they look on the screens. And you and I go back far enough that we look pretty video.
Do we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So he was. I don't know why when he was on TV he was being so quiet, but he was definitely not a quiet man.
Oh, so really?
Oh yes, but and not gratingly boisterous, really funny and happy-go-lucky, kind of like us.
Did he get nervous on camera, maybe?
I think he got nervous. I think he didn't want to come off as silly or something. I don't know.
Right.
But well, I go ahead.
I was going to say, there's also, I've seen my own dad on television as well, because he used to do the odd thing for like medical interview stuff. And I get the sense that generation had a reverence for the camera that we don't have.
That's true. They were doing the TV.
Yeah.
Right? And that was what everybody did. Or, you watched it, everybody.
What is your dog doing, just out of curiosity?
It's the same damn dog. He wants to have sex with his bed.
Well, who can blame him?
It's out there. So, and he's a little bitty, teeny tiny, 5-pound Shih Tzu. So
we got a lot of trolls today. Do we, Ruby K? Do you think have they followed me from Twitter? Have I made the mistake of combating? I blocked someone today. I don't normally block people. I actually blocked someone today.
Oh, and if anybody wants to fight, I'm ready. I'll go for it.
You go. Great. I don't. I'm used to the streams being, well, I should say that. I'm used to the streams being easy because Ruby K and Cal handle it for me. They are the hammers. This is the next thing, Gimpy God. When you get your channel up and running, you need good mods.
Yeah.
Because good mods basically allow you to forget about this stuff.
Do you have like a fight or flight thing where like you want to like confront a lot sometimes? Like
I'm an absolute coward in every stage of it. But what will happen is I will build up to a point where I blow up.
Uh-huh.
And when I blow up, people frankly get scared because it's with such a it's not violent, but it's visibly, I am physically angry, if that makes sense.
Like Tasmanian Devil, but worse.
Yeah, like I truly lose my temper, if that makes sense.
So I like it.
And sometimes that's the only way I can get the nerve to say some of the less comfortable stuff. And I've been working really hard on changing that because obviously when it comes to a kid, you don't want, like, I mean, I remember being really, really scared of my father growing up because you just like, oh God, like, what did I say? You know what I mean? Like it would, and part of that is, I think, an ADHD thing too. I'm sure he probably suffered from the same thing. So you've got the anxiety, you got depression, you got all the sort of things that will allow you to get much sort of angrier, if that makes sense, than normal.
So back to him then. We're at a wrestling tournament. Mm-hmm. My cousin is wrestling, state level wrestler, quite good, 145.
Nice, well done.
Won 3 times state, Colorado.
Yeah. Wow.
And for some reason, a fella who owned a pawn shop people are big self-starter guys or something.
Right.
Anyway, he wanted me to move because I was sitting, I don't know, my wheelchair wasn't where he liked it. And he kept yelling at my dad to get him the F out of the way. That kind of stuff, right? Now, the guy's obviously dad's age, possibly younger. Dad's like, I'm going to take your old A outside and stomp a hole in your hat. And then and the guy's like, woo, well, this is my son here with me. Dad said, good. It wasn't going to be much of a challenge if I just beat your fat ass. So that's how that went.
Oh, fan.
And the kid's like in his 40s going, Dad, shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just, so for me, that was almost like my block between the real world, how they wanted to talk to me, and how they do talk to me.
Right.
So I think I told you recently, what was it? Captain Marvel, that movie?
Yeah.
I got police called on me and thrown out of the theater to Captain Marvel. It was amazing.
You got thrown out?
By the police.
You were thrown out of a theater for watching the movie.
Correct. The theater has never had with the theater has. Then 1 second. I gotta see if I can get somebody real quick. Gizmo.
Gizmo, Shut the hell up.
Let it happen, boy.
What type of dog is Gizmo? Tiny.
He's a Shih Tzu, but he's like some kind of miniature Shih Tzu. Sister, Gizmo got in here.
Sister.
Well, that's me.
All you had to do was like mention sister, and Gizmo just
okay,
gave up.
So
yeah,
this theater never upgraded. Okay, it never got handicap accessibility.
Right.
But the person who owned it, I also taught their kids. So they said, so sorry. They even updated during a point during that. So they would have definitely been mandated to do so. But I'm kind of like the guy in the wheelchair in town. He's this disabled. And they said, if, well, any movie you want to go to for free, you can go to for free. We'll come in on weekends, because they added 3 different screens, but they were upstairs, inaccessible to elevators.
Right.
They would do anything I wanted. But they didn't have the money.
Right.
And I didn't want to fight. You know what I mean? Like I've spoken. I've 3 lawsuits, and that's pretty much where I was done with that.
Was that all they were all against the or with the educational system? With the education system.
Yeah. But that was a town-wide thing for quite some time. And so they they sold out, they sold to a new family that had adult children, were going to run it, and the older parents were just the owners. I don't know. Right. But they actually on purpose introduced us all together and said, this is Lance, this is where he sits. It's not a big deal. He sits way down front. Because theaters tilt, And so I couldn't sit on a real tilted part. So I just go almost down to the front and sit right up against the chair where somebody could feed me a snack or whatever in your room. But they wouldn't. I don't know why they lost their minds. Now, they did have Trump signs all over. I don't know if that matters or not, but I wasn't involved in that. But they came down, told me I was going to have to leave. And this is like right when the credits hit. And I was like...
At the beginning of the movie?
Very beginning of the movie.
They come down, they see you have to move. And why do you have to move?
Because where I'm sitting is quote-unquote dangerous. And I said, well, where do you want me to sit? And they didn't have a spot.
So they wanted you to move, but they had nowhere for you to move to.
Correct. So it was going to be I could come perhaps at another time when nobody else was there, which I don't know. Theaters are kind of a theater experience, Like it doesn't make sense that
I can watch it alone at home.
Right. And they got better, sound than you guys. So anyways, but I was so like, I don't know. I felt real sick because it was happening again. And I was like, I'll tell you what, I'll watch this movie and I won't come back. Can we get that going? Nope. You're going to have to leave. And it just went down. I didn't curse or anything like that. My nephew, who is the sweetest, teddy bear kind of guy you'd ever meet, he actually jumped up on the theater stage and was kind of doing a stand and deliver thing. It was beautiful. And he's a very shy kid.
But he was basically saying, this can't happen.
Right. And, only 2 people, but 2 pretty boisterous people were like, just shut up and let him watch the movie. Everybody was like, shut up, we're trying to watch a movie. Right. But, and then the police came, and they were actually really nice to me. They're like, I have no idea why they've decided to use police force to have you removed. It doesn't make sense, but hey. And I was going to go ahead and follow through, got my attorney set up and all that. And then the guy calls me and says, I'll never be able to show movies again. Nobody in Fort Morgan will be able to see movies if Hollywood hears that I, kicked you guys out and all this. So would you not do that? So I go, okay. And then he starts writing horrible letters about me, like in the letters to the editor, and think, oh, he just sets people up to sue him. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, well, so
Wow.
so that to me, okay, that's ableism.
Mm.
Trying to help somebody a little too much, that's more a miscommunication. Those are things that I think we should work around.
It's a forgivable sin. I had no idea. Is this just because people are not familiar with your situation, or is it because, I mean, like in this population where you're in right now, is there a community of people with disabilities? I mean, is there, you know what I mean?
Um, well, we've got 15,000 people and 25,000 people in the more rural area.
Mm-hmm.
So, frankly, I really think there is a component. If you've ever watched not Diane Fossey, Jane Goodall, you know,
Yeah.
that gets off by itself
Yeah.
and the ships harangue it and bother it because it's something wrong with it. I think there's a part of that in us, and I hate to say that, but it is something we can overcome.
Mm.
But there's desire to make it other, and I think part of that desire is I could be in that situation. You know, disability is the only ethnicity or any different background you can be from that you can join at any time without right.
Yes, and in
So,
fact, eventually we all head up into the as we get older, we head into the the
right.
the disabled zone, I suppose, for want of a better word.
It's for true. Look, you've got hearing aids.
Yeah,
Oops.
yeah,
So
crappy ones.
I
They're
feel
not
so
crappy ones. That's what's so funny about it. They're not crappy. But I just again, but that suffers from the same thing that you were talking about with your technology stuff. Is that there is a mass. Obviously, they can charge this much because there are insurance companies or whatever that are going to pay for it, right? Or governments that will pay for it. Um, huh. So
but
sorry. Yeah.
go ahead, buddy.
Well, I was going to say so. The guy pleads with you not to pursue this because he won't be allowed to watch movies,
Or show
present
movies for
movies, but
that.
then someone else can.
Well, right. That would be the what would you call that? The invisible hand of the market or whatever, right?
Mm.
He owns the theater here in Brush. I don't know. I just didn't. I don't know even know how to explain myself. I
Well,
like
and also, why should you have to? Is the other thing. It's like, why should you have to fight every single? Like, you don't have to fight all the battles,
that's
right?
what I keep trying to tell people who think, okay, racism's over because we did the American Civil Liberties Act. And I said, no, because there are no civil liberties police.
Mm.
You have to be that person.
Mm.
You have to pursue it. Like, or, the Americans with Disabilities Act. There's no police out there saying, oh, look, that doesn't match the right rise over runs, so it
Mm.
doesn't count. You have to bring it to attention. You have to get it taken care of. You are the enforcement.
It's absolutely it's actually a really interesting sort of parallel there because the reality is, why should people of color have to? Why should people of color have to always be fighting for this
Right.
stuff? Why should somebody with disabilities be constantly fighting for the rights of all people with disabilities?
Well,
Um,
and if you feel anything in common, after you start complaining enough and bringing these things that are definitely against the law to the forefront, you start to become the a-hole, or at least they think you are. At least that's the way you're portrayed. So,
well, and I think a lot of, I mean, that's the very sort of, in a way, that's the very nature of evil, isn't it? Is that evil isn't always the greater evil is not the active evil. The greatest evil is the silent, right? Is the
that's
lack of jumping in, is the lack of, because this stuff makes people uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable. I mean, the fact is, it's safe to say that I'm sexist, racist, ableist, homophobic, because I don't have that experience, any of those experiences, right? So,
I could.
sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm with you. That's you know, we all are the things that where our gap in understanding lays.
Right. I think the assumption is always that like, ableist people or racist people or, homophobic people or whatever any of these, that they're somehow some kind of like cartoon villain. And I think that it's very easy. I get very upset when people talk about Karens. Not upset, but it's a term that I don't like, because to me it's like it makes it something otherly. And the whole problem is that I think we all have, in that we all have McKay within us. I think we also all have Karen moments, if that makes sense. We all do and say stupid things because we're in our own heads or we're in our own place, especially actors. But so I feel like it's trying to figure out how to, at least just be aware that there are other perspectives on this stuff. It's neat. So the book I'm reading right now, this Eagleman book on the brain, is really interesting because it talks about us being the product of all of our memories.
Right.
But our memories are entirely fluid. And our memories change all the time. And that you can visibly see differences in the brain based on certain things that you do in your life. So, for example, like very famously, Einstein's brain, very predominant, it was a left portion of the brain. I can't remember exactly what it was, but because he played violin. There was a physical difference in his brain because of the violin he played, right? That there are that your brain physically rewires itself as it grows. It starts off with many more connections than we end up eventually having. Audio is disabled. What was that? Some updates. Oh, really? Trying to update. Thank you so much, Mac.
Fantastic. Couldn't be a better time.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. If you could do that right now, that'd be great. Thank you, Apple, for doing it all for me without asking. I should look at the chat because you know what? We're really bad at this.
Yes.
I blame you, and I blame Ruby K. Wolf Pup, what are you up to? What did I miss?
Hi, buddy.
What's Wolf Pup up to? Thanks. My dad worked quite hard on it. What's this? What's Wolf Pup working on here? Let's go. I'm looking. They're in Ironham art. Oh, Wolf Pup, you been doing some art? Hello, Wolf Pup. Sorry, I missed your grand entrance. What are you? What's Wolf Pup been up to? Been doing some. Wolf Pup's been doing some art. All right. What else we got? Randy the Magician, Gimpy G. What other apparatus do you own to assist with everyday tasks? So yeah, what sort of equipment are you working with right now?
Honestly, I'm such a I don't know how you would say it. Like I literally have had a spider build a web on my face at a time in my life, and there was just nothing I could do. Well,
really?
I went like this. I went, and then I gave it one more, and that was it.
Really?
So, yeah. See, that's people don't get. There's a mental component, but so other than, I really just can't do anything for myself physically. So it's all done by people. And then for bathing, we have a track up in the ceiling that has a lift that can go up, and then we go over the tub and then drop me down there.
Right.
So a bit of streaking during that time.
Nice.
And
not only streaking, you're actually doing like a flying streaking.
It really is. It's actually a twirling flying streak. So it does get tense.
It paints a picture.
Yeah.
And this is stuff that you're just used to at this point?
Pops was the one who took care of me forever. So he picked me up, and up into his late 60s. He would, pick me up, put me in the tub. Very burly dude. So we had none of this until after he passed away.
Right.
So I'm glad.
Sorry. I say, what would your preference be? Would you like someone like away from the family to do that, or is it?
Oh, let me think. Honestly, since I don't have free space or me, how do I say this? Autonomy. I don't have autonomy at all.
Right.
I would just as soon have somebody that I understand their motivations are for me. I don't have anybody hovering over me. They know I'm smart. And they know that I can make decisions, and they actually, even if they disagree with me, will go along with what I do. And if it's screwed, it'll just be, well, I screwed up. So
right.
I like that better than, you know, $5.50 an hour or $8.50 or $15 an hour is not the greatest motivation in the world to keep another person alive. So
and it's definitely it's physical work, right? I mean,
very.
One of the things that they're looking at with robotics is to how do we, like how cool would it be if you had a robot that could do all this stuff for you, because it's because then you would have control over when and where and how and all that kind of stuff.
Right. It would take, oh my gosh, my mind is filled daily with, do I want to ask for my arm moved right now? I just saw him get up, wash the dishes, do this, do that. I mean, every day it's something. Okay, I have to go to the bathroom, but do I have to go to the bathroom that bad? And of course, they say all the time, no, you just say when you need something and I'll do it. But there's a component in you that wants to give back in a way somehow. I don't know how to say it other than
no, that makes sense. There's that, and it's also that's also very male too, isn't it? It's very sort of this kind of a guy thing where it's like you don't want to ask for, if it's anything like me, you don't want to ask for help.
It could, mine in a way feels like my forsaking, like holding back on asking, is actually giving them a break.
Right. So you're conscious of that.
Yeah, because I'm not going to be able to do it myself, period. So other than when I get on the computer, that's what was so beautiful about World of Warcraft and being on the computer, is I just have this world open to me that I can go anywhere, do anything. I could be a jerk. That's right. I do it. I
But
wasn't.
yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of it, isn't it? That's the promise of it, even for people, even for sort of, for one of a better word, able-bodied people. There's still that escape element. But for you, that escape element is something completely different. It's like the Avatar experience of the guy who can't walk, all of a sudden being able to walk again, right?
Yeah, that movie really makes me happy thinking about it.
Does it?
Yeah, I would do that.
It's a neat,
all over.
It's a neat idea. I mean, it's you should read. Have you read Old Man's War?
I have that written down. You sent me that one.
It's a fun one.
Send you back Genjin Z.
Oh yes, that weird anime thing.
Yeah,
I've got to look at that.
Okay, it's just an old man stuck in a robotic pod, and its only prerogative is to make his life excellent, and he wants to go see his wife's grave, and it's fantastic.
Is it a film or a series?
A film.
Film. Okay. All right. I have to check this out. All right. So the robotics don't seem like they're there yet, but the soft robotic stuff seems like a possibility. And the whole idea that they're talking about robots that are working with people is something that they're really focusing on now. The idea of it's not that robots do everything, but they are able to do certain aspects of things, and they are working in a safe way, interacting with humans.
Okay. The kids would do this with me. They kind of think it's fun. They put their hand underneath my elbow, along my forearm, and they can feel my intent, because I can still contract muscles. And they think it's so fun because I can, like they can tell I'm moving up or down, and I don't have to tell them. Something like that would be amazing. That just captured gravity. That was
well, there's like the exoskeleton approach to stuff, isn't there?
Yeah, something like that. Even if it didn't, God, I can't tell you how little it would take to dramatically impact my life. Amazing.
What, and are there
rock, paper, scissors?
a key of key importance.
Have you that?
But if it's a robot hand, it'd be rock, paper, scissors, or I win every time because I could crush you with my robot hand.
Right. But so the kids and I, how the heck did we do this? Because we were stuck in the car together a lot. And so what we would do is this is scissors, rock, and then regular is paper.
Right.
So that's how So we actually invented games that were within the purview. I would do it, but it would be embarrassing to you because it'd be like I lived in your head. So,
and this of course was all basically pre-computer stuff as a kid, right? So this must be like a revelation.
But also, if we didn't have something that we could all interact with, we would just invent things that the nieces and nephews and I could do together.
Right. If you like card games, you should play Here to Slay.
Here to Slay.
Okay. Yeah. Although, how would you do the card game thing? I guess you'd have to
see. It's
yeah, it is. There's a lot of things you don't think of. I don't think
right.
Because cards, you can't have someone else interacting with your cards because then they're basically everyone's a cheat. I trust no one. So online is probably a better way of doing it.
Yeah.
But immediately the thing I love about assistive technology is it always makes you start thinking about like what are little things that you haven't thought of, like what could you invent that would solve those specific problems. Excuse my yawning. That means it must be time for tea. Any moment now, my son, I'm sure, will come running down with a beautiful cup of tea and maybe a crumpet or something.
Tea and crumpets.
All right, what do we got? 3D. What is going on? What have I missed with Wolf Pup? Should we bring him on the chat? See what he's up to.
Yeah, that guy is like all kinds of.
Let me see.
He's
I know.
Kind of like Homer from Jerry Seinfeld. He storms into the room. Energy flies.
Let me see if I can bring him in. Can I do this? If I do this, that's you focused. That's all of us focused. How do I add someone to the room? Is there a way to do this easily? If I say, can I add someone? Add a friend. Oh, look at that. But if I do this while everyone's watching, that's going to suck, isn't it? So hang on a second. I don't want to. Okay, so here, look at my desktop pattern for a second. While I invite Wolf Pup to join us. Or I guess we could just both join the Tech Bandits live, I suppose. Do I see
Don't matter.
I don't even see him in here. Oh, Vibe Pup. Oh. Is that him in here? Is Vibe Pup being added?
Also, I guess I should have asked that person that asked the question earlier about how to help. Did that help them?
Oops. Did I just hang up on you? Oh.
Hello.
Hey, Vibe Pup. How are you?
I need to turn off the stream. I'm good. Did you check out my dad's paintings?
No.
I will send them here. I think
let me see if I can do this. I'm going to bring you in. So I've got GimpyGod with us. Do you know that? I don't know if you know that or not. Just thought I'd let you know.
Yeah. Okay. I've been watching this the whole time.
I saw you show up in the chat and I didn't realize. So, all right, Vibe Pup is going to share us some paintings.
Oh, nice.
What do you got? Why can't I see them?
I'm seeing Deadpool. Is this the one where you turn him sideways and he looks like?
I don't see anything.
If you get out of the big chat, my dad painted that.
Oh, that is
some pretty. Look at that. Oh, that's great.
And he's made more than that. And
sure, these are 3D prints that he's then painted?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sensing a need for Vibe Pup's dad in this.
Yeah, no kidding. So, Vibe Pup, what is Dad using to print this stuff?
That one he was using the Prusa. I'm pretty sure like a MK5 or something. I don't know. I'm pretty sure MK5 is like a Terminator thing.
3 is it? Is it the 3 MK3 or is it the 2? I can't remember now.
He's using one of all I know is it's a Prusa printer, and he made it and then he printed it because we not right beside, I am in the basement. We have a little room.
Yeah.
And there we have a big basement and there's a room and it has my dad's airbrush, I think it's called.
Ooh, I've always wanted to play with an airbrush. What else does he use the airbrush for? We've lost your audio for some reason, Vipup.
Vipup.
We can see your icon, but we can't hear. Oh, there you go.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I just walked away from the computer, so my mic was just like, oh, he died.
Right, got it. So, what's he using the airbrush for?
For painting, like he has made what's it called? Hulkbuster one.
Oh, Hulkbuster's beautiful.
Yeah, he made this big, like, I don't, like, maybe a little bit bigger than a keyboard.
Right. Wow.
One, and it's really cool.
That's neat. I love the 3D printing stuff is just so cool to me.
Now, is your dad getting into creating 3D printed stuff, or just kind of taking off that? What is it's a user group of some sort?
Like Thingiverse or something?
Yeah, Thingiverse.
Yeah, Thingiverse is great. Yeah.
He has a resin printer now.
Oh, nice. But is it stinky?
It's not super duper smelly.
What type of resin printer is it? Do you know?
No.
It's not a Prusa as well, though.
Well, my dad is right there, so I can go ask him. 1 second.
You could ask him.
Be right back.
Wolfup's always got something going on.
His dad's creative too. That's nice.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
Let's use that.
It's I'm curious to see if he's played with Tinkercad, because Tinkercad you can design stuff and then print out his own stuff as well, and it's a very simple program. It's simple enough that even I could use it. GimpyGod.
See, what we got to figure out. My nephew just now is graduating with his degree in 3D animation.
Ooh.
So we got to get him going on our stuff too.
Yeah, no kidding. He should talk to. God, there's lots of people he could talk to. Let me poke around, because there's some people. That's just a great skill to have for a lot of different things. I don't want to name them online in case I don't want to like shame people that friends of mine into, you know.
But even our stuff that we're doing now, if you could help us design a piece or a...
Oh yeah, of course. Yes. I was going to say, is there like a local maker community that could help with the build stuff? Because again, I feel like if it wasn't a pandemic, I could actually sort of like come down and say hi and that kind of stuff. But yell at you out of the window of a car as we drive by, that kind of stuff.
It seems, yeah.
But it's even better if we could somehow figure out, like, if there's local people who want to do some cool build stuff and can work with him on that kind of stuff. But I'm not sure how much building you need, though. Well, sorry, for the eye tracking stuff, there is definitely some 3D printing stuff. If you look at that video, show him that video of that guy doing the DIY thing.
Okay.
Because he might have some fun with it anyways. Like, it might be a fun project for him to play with. It's basically just three little IR LEDs, which are just basically LEDs. And then that PlayStation thing, which apparently you can pick up on like Kijiji. We have Kijiji up in Canada just to be difficult, but you could probably just do eBay or something down there, I'm guessing.
Now, did I hear that people will be mean to us trying to ship things back and forth?
Yeah, they're brutal.
It is the Vox Lab one.
I don't know the Vox Lab. I'm gonna have to look that up. Dang.
It's this like. My dad told me how it works, and it's the screen. It actuates the resin, which I thought that was a really cool way of making a 3D printer.
Activates
the resin. There's an LED screen under the resin.
No.
And as it lights, it pushes it up. Do you get what I mean? Like that.
Really? So
yeah.
The light from the screen is what's setting the resin.
Yeah. At least that's what I believe.
What was it called? Vox Lab again? Is it
Vox Lab? I will see if I can find it.
That's okay. I'm looking it up. Vox Lab Studio? Vox Lab Audio? I don't see it. So someone in the chat will, I'm sure, find it.
I found it. It's VOXE Lab. Oh, this is the exact one that I.
The heck? Oh, they.
I'm.
Oh, they with 2 L's. Voxlab. Oh, they're from. Where are they based?
I'm pretty sure I can
Is it?
send. I just sent
Oh,
the link to the printer in the chat.
nice.
Voxel.
Ooh, the Amazon link. You got to make that an affiliate link, and then people will then you get money when people buy them.
You get rich.
People do quite well with the affiliate link stuff. Yeah, I can't remember where it's from, but I know I've read about these guys before. Hang on a second. It's like where are they based? They're based in let's have a look. Dun, dun, dun. They're in Serbia. Belgrade, Serbia. Wow.
That's kind of cool.
That is neat. Well, Prusa's out there, is out in that area too, isn't he?
Say what?
Where's Prusa based again? I'm going to just have a look. Prusa is based out of, Prague, Czech Republic. There you go. Yeah, the 3D printing stuff is amazing. But it's one of those things like, hey, Wolfpup, have you played with Tinkercad at all?
Yeah, I did that when I still did. I did it with Code Ninjas, I think.
Oh yeah. It's because that you can create things that you could then just print on your dad's printer. Like that's what's kind of neat about it.
Yeah.
Because then you're designing as Gimpy God was saying, it's kind of cool to be able to build your own stuff as well. Like you start by printing other people's stuff, and then you get this sort of the hang of it. Then you start going like, well, I want to modify this a little bit. How do I change this or add this or, how do you make it your own thing? And those skills, the weird thing about 3D design now is that it's hard to find a job that doesn't use it in some way, shape, or form now. You know what I mean? Like video games, medical stuff,
Right.
like engineering, sciences, biotech, any of these things, they all use 3D modeling now, right? So if you can get a handle on that, you've got basically the world is your 3D oyster.
Yeah, there are a lot of stuff that use 3D printers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The problem I have with 3D printing in schools is that they do 3D printing. They don't do 3D design. They all talk about the printer more than they talk about the actual design part of it.
We didn't have a 3D printer that we were allowed to use. We had one, but they were only allowed for grade 8.
Right. Yeah, there's this weird assumption that for some reason you're going to hurt yourself with a 3D printer, which is possible, as you can hurt yourself. You can get a paper cut from a book, but I tried to
you can hurt yourself with it, but they had a safety thing on it. Like they said, they had a thing don't touch the printer.
Which is so funny because honestly, I mean, a kettle gets warmer. It's funny because so my issue was I had the Prusa printer. I said look, I have a Prusa printer. It's fantastic. I love it. I wheel it back and forth to the Tech Bandits sessions at this local school all the time. Why don't I just leave it here, and then people could use it? I'll come in and use it when I need to use it, but the rest of the time it could be used by the hundreds of kids who are at this school, and they're like, "Oh no! What if there's a fire hazard? What if it goes wrong? How do we support it? I was like, "What do you mean? How do you support it? The kids will figure it out. Wolfpup will have that thing sorted out in no time at all, right?
No time.
Wolfpup, what would you do if you got a new printer? It was just yours.
If I would first off make it so I can actually give it the STLs.
Mm-hmm. The STL being
I would want to print because I used to really like How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh God, yeah, we love that, man. Toothless.
So my dad has painted a Toothless.
Oh man, that's awesome.
I
think it was his first one. It was already made out of black paint. Already black filament, sorry.
Right. So it had a nice dark toothless texture already.
So all he had to do is make the eyes and the thing on the tail.
And he's painting it with the airbrush?
No, he uses the airbrush to get like the general color of it, and then he uses paintbrushes.
Oh, so like he could get all the red of Deadpool done with the airbrush, and then he goes in for the details with a little tiny brush.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Does your dad make videos or anything? Like, what is your dad? Sorry, I shouldn't ask what your dad does, but I mean, what does he do with his stuff? Is he online as well? What's his take on all this stuff?
I think he has a YouTube channel, but he hasn't posted anything on it. Like he's posted like a few things.
But it's not like a focus for him.
Yeah, like he's posted a thing of like a couple of Gears of War matches.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But that's really it.
Right. Why does everyone automatically do gaming? I guess because it's popular, huh?
And it's really the only thing you can kind of do on YouTube without getting people feeling like, hey,
well,
why are you doing this?
That helps.
Personality helps. That's true. Yeah. We gotta get GimpyGodGaming, Wolf Pup.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
So we're waiting for a renovation to finish.
Yes.
We're waiting for. Will you have a place that the computer will be set up that you can get to? That isn't gonna. Do you have like a setup that will be like a fixed place for it, basically?
I have a place I call my genius room, and
I like it.
Yep. So we're all the area is there. It was just the emergency of having to bring the whole family in. Their mom got everything mixed up, so their drawers and dressers and things are down there. And
how's mom doing?
Oh, goodness gracious, my friend. Hospice comes in and visits today. So, I mean, it's just amazing how quickly they did, however, give her some sort of medication that has alleviated some. I thought they were panic attacks, but they're not. They're just almost like your nerves being afire or something like that. So, but throughout your entire body.
I think the key is not to get old. How do we stop that from happening?
Hers was even her mom had the same thing, and she's not, she's just 70, which I know old, but
that's not that old. My dad's 80. I didn't tell you that if he asks.
Yeah. No, to me, oh gosh, these people who dedicated their lives to me, like everything I did when I was in college. And my nephew says it's the smart guy room.
Yeah, I forgot. The smart guy room. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Anyway, but like when I went to college, they didn't have anything for me. Right. So she quit work, went to college, was my note taker, and she hated mathematics. She didn't want to be a math person. She was like maybe wanted to be a gym teacher, artist kind of person. And so, but there we go. She's probably the most educated human being on the planet without a degree.
Right. Because she was in every class, right? Yeah.
Right. She's got a degree in mathematics and a degree in educational psychology without owning either one of those things.
Right. And in a way, who cares? As long as you got the skills, right?
Right.
Although I guess it's hard to get a job without the paperwork.
Yeah. Well, and she really wasn't interested. And oh gosh, someday, guys, we have so many stories to tell, because it's like these people, like her, that's all she's ever done is be a fantastic person. And like the first thing they said when I went to work at the school was, "Oh, she can't come on campus," like she was a danger or something like that.
What? So why couldn't she go on campus?
Because they were trying to make my life really, really tough. So they hired a person that was going to take me to the restroom, write for me, do everything for me that I had no input in hiring or choosing.
Oh my God.
It was.
What is it? Not for us without us?
Yes. But the fantastic thing is they kept underestimating how wicked awesome I am. So,
it's a problem I have as well, Gimpy God.
You get that all the time too? So this guy literally looked like Shrek, and he kept sheep for a living prior to working. So they thought this was going to be a match made in hell. And we got along famously.
Right.
The only big quirk we had is he was feeding me a cookie, and he said, "Oh, I got to go to the restroom." So he stopped my chair, heard him go to the restroom. He's like 6'7", so, quite a lot of noise. And then I did not hear the faucet.
Oh, no.
I know. And then he pops back out. Another bite of cookie? No, thanks. I'm going on a diet from here on out.
Yeah. Gee, could you pass me that hand cleansing stuff? Yeah. Could you put some of that hand cleansing stuff on me, please?
Yes. Could I? Yeah, just some in my mouth. Just a little bit in my mouth.
Yeah. Could you just bathe me in that, please? Oh my God. Oh God, that's awful. Oh.
Well, you know what's super cool though? Okay, eventually he went to school because he said, "Hey, this guy is teaching, and I thought I couldn't do it. Now I think I can do it." So he went on. He became a second grade teacher.
Oh, cool.
And, yep. And then the next person they put me with became a teacher. So I've turned out a lot of teachers in my time. I'm very proud of that.
Nice. That was just something that they just, having been in the system, helping you out with this stuff, they took an interest in it.
Yeah, they're around the kids. They see the different ways that you can affect these lives. These people are. There's no kid going to school that day wanting to make your life hell. Right. There's just not. There's people.
Oh, my dad just sent me a picture of the. Sorry for cutting you off. My dad just sent.
Okay, buddy.
Stop everything. Dad's got to paint a picture.
He sent me a picture of his resin print that he sent to me. That's his one in resin. It's still processing.
This.
Oh. That's he made a miniature of it.
Oh wow.
Hey, could you tell him about our project of trying to make me a headset that will, like a little joystick that I can run with my mouth, just in case we ever need him, we can pull him in.
We could drag him into the mix. We can also talk. I mean, this is something that Prusa might give us a hand with too, potentially. He loves that. I mean, he's a geek through and through.
My favorite.
What is your remind us where you are, GimpyGod?
I am in northeast Colorado.
Right.
So it's like you could barely see the mountains if you look east.
Right. Okay.
West.
I'm just wondering if there's any west, right? I'm just wondering if there's any like maker spaces or anything like that, because they're often really good for, they often like projects that they can sort of have a go at type thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm just thinking, because you really, I mean, at the end of the day, you need somebody there as well who can help out with some of the logistic stuff, right?
Correct.
But then again, your nephew, hey, maybe your nephew will get interested in this stuff too. What's his interest? I mean, 3D design, animation stuff. He wants to get into like films and stuff, or what's his?
Yeah, he's very artsy. Like anything. Like if you go on my page, it's all designed by him. My YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
He does. If you go on my Twitter or my Twitch.
I should throw this into the mix
too. Kind of avatar is actually his creative.
Oh yeah. Let me just get another window here. God, my carpal tunnel. I got the carpal tunnel.
You got carpal tunnel too.
Oh, I'm getting old, buddy.
We're just gonna have to start soaking you partially.
It's
like,
it's
half the day.
I'm gonna be glue very, very soon. You wait.
Very soon.
The glue factory for me. What do we got? I'm looking for you are GimpyGod Gamer, is that right?
Gimpy Gaming is the YouTube. And then just Gimpy G is my Twitch. But I haven't twitched. But I will twitch.
But do you you want to do the live stuff?
I want to do live stuff and then cannibalize that for content.
Right. All right. Oh, we should also talk to All Access Life too. I think I did a shout out for them the other day, because they do a lot of reviews of assistive tech and stuff, so they would know what they like and what's good to play with.
I sent an email to them.
Oh, good.
Oh, I haven't got anything back, but busy fellas.
Yeah, they got a lot going on. I'm amazed.
I really dig their vibe.
Isn't it great? They've just got a good. What the heck, dude? Why can't I find you?
Too famous?
Maybe it is. You're too famous. It's possible. I'm missing the forest for the trees.
There's trees right in a row. Gimpy. Well, no, Gimpy G Gaming. Yeah. So
Gimpy
there's two
G. I put.
maybe
Okay,
you're
that
missing
makes
one.
more sense. PG gaming or gamer?
Gimpy G Gaming. ING.
You got it. Okay. There we go. That would explain a lot of things. Okay, right. Because this has got all of your stuff on it. It's also, does it have your dad's video on it as well?
It does.
Okay, good. Because that's a fun one to just get a sense of things. Oh, wow. So this is your nephew's stuff here?
Yeah. And my OBS overlay, when I am doing that, like I was using that for Hearthstone. He set that all up for me.
This is you, right? Oh, people, you can't see it, but other people can. All right. But there's the channel. I'm going to put the link in right now.
Now, there's not much to it yet, everybody.
I know this is the point that we're going to build up on this, though, right? This is the other reason why I thought it would be kind of fun to have you on this as well, as we could start just sort of like letting people know about this in advance. This is like a pre-launch, so you can sort of get it. You can get all my audience to jump ship and watch your stuff because it'll be more exciting. All right, I'm subscribed, but I would like to share this page. How would I do that? Folks? Let's do this. I don't know why it's giving me such a long link, but I'm going to do it anyways. All right, let's put this in here and put that in the chat. All right.
I wonder if Vibe Pup's still here. Vibe Pup, you still here?
Can you hear me? I just went really quiet for a second.
Have you ever played Crashlands?
No.
I'm actually I found that I can play that. And if it's a multi-person, I think we might be able to do a couple people or something. It's kind of like Don't Starve, but with not quite as many requirements for not starving.
It's called Crashlands?
Yeah, Crashlands. And I also found that I can kind of play Don't Starve together if I have somebody. So we might try that, David, if you've got an Apple device.
Yeah.
Which you do.
What is the game?
Don't Starve Together.
Don't Starve Together.
Like, okay, darkness drives you insane, which seems right.
Right.
And then you can pick from different characters, like some that are strong. I will pick Wigfried because she is like super tough and I can't maneuver well. So I would just like go in head first chopping.
Right.
And you have to get food and you make recipes. And
how many players can you have on at the same time?
I don't know. I think at least 4.
We should get Iron Ham in on this as well.
Who that?
Which is your favorite of the two? Don't Starve or the Crashlands?
I don't know if Crash Landing has any multiplayer components, so Don't Starve would be the best.
Yeah. Okay, great. We also have to do Magic the Gathering sometime.
I so want to too.
Is that not available on? Oh, it's only available on Android devices.
Yes.
Shoot, or the computer.
I even started studying up on it. So I was like, oh, okay. David's going to think newbie here, and I'm going to come in.
Oh,
but
dude,
nope.
I suck at it. You know what I'm like? I've got ADHD. I forget what cards I've got. I'm like the worst card player ever. And I've got the best, and my tells are terrible. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna win. Oh no, I'm not. Oh, wrong card. Like, it's like I'm like the dead giveaway. Baz like murders me every time. Although Baz, I hate to say it, he's got the brain for these things. He remembers very, very well. You know, like he's one of those people who can go like, oh, I remember what that card was like 14 cards ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I suck at that. All right, so Don't Starve Together. I'm going to throw this. I just drag this in here. So this is the one. I see. Okay. All right. So I'll have to look into that. And then, So you would have it on your, you'd be playing this on your iPad?
Correct. With a stick in my mouth.
From
and
Steam?
And a gleam in my mouth. What?
But is it it's a Steam game?
It is not a Steam game. Not if you get it off the App Store, iOS.
Huh. Okay. All right.
Now, I'm not sure about Interplay there. You might have to get it off iOS.
Huh. Okay. All right.
It's like $5 or something.
I will investigate. Wolf Pup, you up for this?
Up for playing.
Don't Starve Together sometime. Do you? No. Well, here's the next question. Do you have an Apple device?
I have a Apple phone.
That would work, wouldn't it?
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So I have one too. Okay. So good. So we'll have to sort that out. I'll bug Ironham about it. Which, speaking of Ironham, it's almost 5:00. I should probably run.
Okay.
Sorry, Wolf Pup. I wasn't actually doing like an official Tech Bandits today, but whenever we have a Wolf Pup online, it's just nice to have them join us. So Vibe Pup. Why are you Vibe Pup now? By the way.
Because I am a pup that vibes.
But what does vibe mean?
For us old just guys? Like it's hard to explain.
Hanging out, chilling.
It's like when you're listening to a song and you like the song, then you like vibing to the song.
Huh. Okay. So yeah. So it's like what would we call it? Chilling? Chillaxing?
You know how Tesla said there was harmonics to everything? It's just being in that perfect resonance, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
so,
I see it.
Well, so we'll be like the hippie channel.
Or at least you will be. He's the cool enough one to pull it up.
Yeah, it's true. He'd probably make it happen. It's true. All right. So I'm gonna wrap up if you don't mind, just because me and GimpyGod have been chatting for a while. How long have we been chatting? I don't even know how long we've been chatting.
Almost 2 hours.
Seriously? Holy crap, can I talk? This was like literally just on a whim. I was like, why don't we just like open this up to people and see what everyone else has to say? You know what I mean? Yes, we're going to go with an iPad. We're going to try it on an iPad and see what, and see if we can have, like, maybe we'll try this for like should we try this for like Game Bandits?
Sure.
Is Game Bandits normally Wednesday? I'm getting so confused. I'm getting my days all messed up.
Game Bandits is normally Wednesday.
It's normally Wednesday. So it's going to have to be Thursday this week then.
Wait, today? So tomorrow?
Is tomorrow Thursday? Tomorrow's Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do tomorrow, or now I say it. I'm not sure what my deal is yet.
Does it cost anything on iOS?
That is a good question. That is a good question. Let's find out.
I mean, it might even have crossplay as far as I know, but I don't know.
All right. I'll have to do some research on it. But in the meantime, I should run. But let's aim for some Game Bandits maybe tomorrow. Maybe we can get if we can figure out the iPad thing, maybe we can add that. Are you around tomorrow, GimpyGod?
I am for sure.
Okay. So what I guess we'll do then is, why don't we, Wolf Pup, how does this sound? What if we look up some news for the beginning, and we'll do like an hour of news and chat, and then we'll try this game out?
That would be good.
Sound good?
Oh, wait, Wolf Pup, did you do the Vsauce thing, 8 things we're afraid of?
Oh
no, I never told you I never like explained the ending.
What was the? Wait a second, is that going to ruin the ending for us?
It's basically like, have you watched it? Because like
I haven't seen it yet, but don't let that. Vsauce fear. I'm doing that. What is the scariest thing? Ooh, it's a creepy thumbnail.
Yeah, like it's a Halloween vibe.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, it's a long one too.
But very good.
Is it? Okay, so I'll have to watch that.
You've watched it?
How do you think?
All right.
Because like they go through like they don't talk to the
fear conditioning, innate aversions. Oh wow. There's a ton of stuff here.
I was proud of you for finding it. That's good stuff there.
Yeah, seriously. Is that you, Vibe Pup, that came up with that?
I found Vsauce. I'm not the only one who found Vsauce.
Oh
but
no, I know Vsauce has been around for a while, but this specific video is a good one. You're responsible for those freaking hair worms. I literally had a nightmare about them.
You did?
I had a nightmare about hair worms. Good God, were you around for that?
I was not.
Oh my God. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
They're the most disgusting thing you've ever seen. Do you still have a link for them, Vibe Pup?
No, but I can basically explain. It's these like worms, like these tiny little worms that go inside.
They're not tiny. They're like this long.
They look like noodles. And now I'm off
really
noodles
stringy
forever.
noodles.
Now I'm off
hair.
noodles forever.
Wait. Are they a parasite or?
Yeah.
Like
they're a parasite that lives in crickets.
Because I personally, with my little sister, we found something called horsehair worms. And they look like the underline on a sheet of paper, like if you just went all the way across, they're super thin. And you wouldn't even seem like they should be alive.
Yeah.
And we had to look up what they were because we were so fascinated.
Horsehair worms. That sounds like the same sort of thing.
Like they control the mind of the. So like we watched a video of like it took over the cricket's mind. It became the cricket.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking wild. It's really wild. And now
he decided being a life of a hairworm is boring. I want to be the cricket.
Oh, it is. That's what we're talking about. They are. That's the same thing. A horsehair worm is the thing that turns crickets into suicidal maniacs.
Oh my God.
So you discovered oh my God.
What if the horse hairworm can take over the horse?
Oh my God. It's another
next step.
I can't. The pictures just freak me out, man. It says here that some 350 known species of horsehair worms invade insects. After developing for several months, the worms mind control their hosts to make a kamikaze dive into water and then escape through the holes bored in the insect's exoskeleton. And they are much, much longer than the cricket, shall we say. The parasites end up in a tangled knot that can be as heavy as the tattered and oftentimes very much alive host that they leave behind.
Ooh,
thanks so much, Vibe Pup.
Fantastic.
Oh, I have to ask my entomologist friend about them. In fact, you know what? I'm going to, Bag of Chips? Bag of Chips' dad is a specialist on crickets. So I'm going to ask him what he knows about these horsehair worms because, they are anything that controls something's brain freaks me out.
You know what really freaks me out is that sucker was right on my table and we didn't know.
Why was it on your table?
We were examining it. It was a thing.
It will take over your table.
It doesn't.
Yeah, brain. But I would give it the worst host it's ever had. So take that horsehair worm. You'll just be sitting here.
What is the poll? Someone set up a poll. What's the poll?
Have a good day. Be brilliant, huzzah. Be safe, be kind, or cheerio. Everything was between huzzah and be brilliant.
Really? This is how I'm supposed to sign off now?
No.
I liked it. I can't remember it.
What else have I missed in here? Have I missed saying hi to anybody? Cal, who have I missed? What have I done? I've been terrible with the chat.
That'd be weird. Just seeing, you're just walking around and you just see, just 6 crickets all at the same time just dive bombing into the water.
Someone says, it's a full-time job, says, what if there was a control joystick at the back of your head instead of his mouth? Would you be able to control something using the back of your head?
And I feel as though that would be true, would work. But where my issue with it is I want to be able to use that head mouse so I can look around for the visual, when you're looking up, down, left, right. And then I want the joystick to be there for the movement. So I can't think of how to disentangle those two movements. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you need to be, I think the operating system is better than it used to be, but you need to assign, you basically need to assign like mouse control to mouse clicking to one system that you've got set up, eye controls to another.
If I could do the joystick, I could move up, down, left, and right, and have proportionality with that, run faster, slower. But if it was on the back of my head, when I moved my head, it would actually control the head mouse portion too.
Right.
It would move, but actually move in the opposite direction.
Right.
No.
Right. So you'd be right. So that's not gonna, unless it's just a matter of like, do you have like A, S, W? You know what I mean? Like, is there like a certain amount of like? Could it be like a key? Could you like somehow like? So I've got. I went digging for all of my stuff, and I found these little guys. I'm supposed to be gone, by the way. This is me saying goodbye. Did you notice that?
Okay.
Do you have these little guys?
I do. Oh yes. Now, are yours called Tosh, or are they
ATBC?
Okay, not the same. It's very similar looking clicker,
but very very light, right?
We'd have to look at what it is. That's another thing. Like I wish I could send you something so you could feel it, because you'd swear that Lance could do this, and then go, nope, cannot do it.
Really? Well, because the other thing I was thinking about, why does it have to be a physical button? What if it's like just like breaking a laser, like breaking a beam of light or something instead?
Oh, great! I just came up with another idea, because we can put my hand on a ball, like a little ball, like a half-size tennis ball, and I can slightly roll it up, back, left, and right.
Huh.
So that would be an interesting way to access up, down, left, right.
So I have an old Kensington mouse that allows for that, but I'm just wondering if there's a way of because that's if you got a little bit of motion there. There's so many possibilities. I think we almost want to solve one problem at a time, really, don't we?
I like the brainstorming and the company and the enthusiasm in the chat, even though we ignore them like they're, I don't know, some kind of germ-ridden filth.
I try to look at the chat sometimes.
Oh, good. Wolf Pup's on it, at least.
I'm trying to concentrate on getting back my island in Minecraft.
Right. Oh yeah. How's that going, by the way?
A lot of beef.
It's going decently well. I still haven't started on making a ginormous farm yet.
Right. I was saying he should automate some of this stuff, because he's got all those like crazy cool coding skills. Like Wolf Pup should be automating this stuff as much as he can.
But I mean, like, this is Hypixel, so I can't really do that. To automate it, you have to use minions, because redstone doesn't work.
Oh.
Your germ-ridden filth has gone down really well, by the way.
Thanks.
So, I don't know if GimpyGod knows, I'm trying to rebuild my island in Minecraft because my friends kicks me from the co-op and then blocks me on everything, because, like, why not? Even though I know them in real life, so there's a face behind of that.
He's got to face them in real life at some point.
You got beef going.
Oh, yeah, he's got beef. What have I got here?
I drill to the lava, let the ocean pour in, and it blows up. But that's just me. I like to take half measures.
Baz was laughing at me because I created robots that did a lot of digging for me on another person's server, and it sort of took off across the and then basically ended up getting lost in a lava flow. So, all right, look, I'm so sorry because I'm really enjoying this, but I've got to wrap it up. We will let's just do this again.
Let us. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We should like. You know what? Yeah, we'll do it like as always. We'll just do it at random, depending on how sleepy you are and how badly organized I am. How's the arm, by the way? You got your second dose, right? You're done.
I'm done. Woo.
He is so Wolf Pup. GimpyGod is officially vaccinated.
COVID barrier.
And so I might add, I think James Gurney just got his first jab too.
Oh, and I spoke to him too, I think, just a little bit on Twitter. He's
good.
very nice.
See, it's a good bunch. It's a good bunch. It's a good bunch to get in with.
We kind of riffed on how we might make me a character that's still disabled yet able to do, perform in a fantasy world.
Yeah, I do like the idea of that sort of that floating magician thing. I thought was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Although now I have images of you getting into the bath, so it's a whole different kind of a floating thing that I've got going now.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
GimpyGod, thank you so much. Wolf Pup, thank you for joining us, and do thank your dad for allowing us to pester him about his 3D printing. By the way,
to ask him about all the questions and all that.
Yes, I appreciate it. Him being our go-to 3D printing guy today.
Yeah.
And of course, really, really important that I thank Ruby K today. Maybe not Cal, but certainly Ruby K. Right? Yeah, we got to thank our mods for being fabulous as always. All right, everybody, have fun. Why you bully? Cal, what do you just have that on like as a macro that just automatically pops in every so often? Is that, everyone say goodnight. Everyone say goodbye to Cal. Cal, get some sleep.
Bye.
Ruby K, you rock. And GimpyGod, thank you for joining us, man. That was fun. Thanks for sharing our chat. And Wolf Pup. So what am I supposed to say? What did we decide? What was the vote? The vote was for what?
Yeah, what is he supposed to say?
Be safe, be kind, be brilliant?
No, I don't know.
Be safe, be kind, be gone?
Be gone.
And until we gig again, I will say cheerio and huzzah! And then I stop it all. And everyone goes, bye.
Or we could raid